What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris with Game 3 between Pulse and Navi from the winner's bracket of the Starseries Season 3. Currently tied up 1-1 with Pulse winning the second and Pulse winning the first, Navi winning the second. And so far, well, the bans are exactly the same as the last game. Nothing too noteworthy about them. And Navi's picks so far, I think they're exactly the same, although this time Pulse, they stole the Queen of Pain, so Navi can't run the exact same thing. Pulse, they're going to go with 3 ranged heroes right off the bat. Venomancer for the hard support, Leshrac possibly for the soft support. And that so far is looking to me like a tri-lane with their 4th or 5th pickup being the primary farmer in that lane. Navi, on the other hand, they're going to open up the Darkseer just as they did last game. Light of Heaven did have a decent time on that hard lane. Got a lot of stuff done there, but most importantly, got the levels needed so that later on his wall was highly leveled. He got to level 11 pretty quick. Navi, they're also going to go with CK. That was played by Havorst in the last game. Pretty much impossible to kill that CK, although Pulse, to be fair, didn't really try all that hard. They didn't really pay him much attention on that bot lane, and he was mostly just farming. So, CK later on was just impossible to kill for Pulse. It was 4v1 at one point, and they just could not kill the CK with his BKB plus Phantasm. So, why do something that you know... Why not do something that you know works? Stick with what works is what I guess I should have said. That's going to be the CK. Probably going to get protected farm on that top lane. Pulse, though, they have a lot of freedom for their lanes. Navi, they're also going to go with the Shadow Shaman, played by Fishbone last game. So it's pretty much the same exact heroes with the exception of Venomancer. It's going to offer a very good dual lane combo with this Shadow Shaman CK. But Navi, well, they have one support here. They just need to get their lanes a little bit more short up. And they need mid lane especially. Pulse instead going to ban out the Tidehunter as well as the Enigma. Ban out and Navi's potential for a tri-lane on the top lane. And Navi, well, they're going to ban out the Brewmaster. Well, okay, here's why they ban out the Brewmaster. They're banning out hard lane heroes. That's why you also see the Bounty Hunter being banned out. But Brewmaster was played on the top lane in the game 1. And Waga was pretty successful on that role. Whereas Pulse, they're banning out mid lane, they're banning out tri-lane heroes. Navi, they're banning out hard lane heroes. Pulse will have to change their comp quite a bit. They're going to have no Tiny carry, so Tiny, Leshrac, Venomancer, pretty deadly lane combination there. So who's going to be their hard lane? They're on the Radiant, so the Beastmaster on the hard lane isn't as strong as it normally is. Broodmother has gotten the nerf stick with the Spiderling gold increase, Spiderling bounty increase. So it's still viable. Teams do run it occasionally, but it's not exactly optimum. And the time of the replay, the teams haven't caught on to the power of Sven or Magnus yet, so those probably aren't going to be seen. Pulse still do need their hard carry, which they have quite a lot of freedom as far as who they want to pick up. Anti-Mage still in the pool. Although CK, Tiny, really like growing in popularity as far as the carry role is concerned. And then of course you have Sven as well as the Magnetar, who are also kind of stepping up to the plate as far as the time of me casting this, not at the time of this game being played. So Pulse, they're gonna have to make some hard decisions as to what carry hero they want. They could pick up something like a Faceless Void. That would give them a huge amount of teamfight potential. Faceless Void, Queen of Pain, Leshrac. There's a lot of magical damage and pretty much guaranteed magical damage if you land a good Chronosphere. Navi, on the other hand, they're so far very much so single target based. It's going to be Lifestealer. Okay, so Pulse going to open up with Lifestealer. Going to give him protected farm, most likely on the bot lane, protected by Venomancer, possibly Leshrac as well. And Navi, let's see if this is going to change their team comp, because, well, Navi, they still do need that mid lane, and Dendi plays the mid lane for Navi. One of Dendi's best heroes is Pudge. However, Pudge versus Lifestealer does have the edge in that scenario, just because Feast does a lot of damage, and of course Rage blocks out all of Dismember's and Rot's damage for the duration. So it's probably going to push Navi into a different mid lane. They do still have quite a couple of options, though. You can go Storm Spirit, you can go for Rubik, although game 1 the Rubik didn't exactly work out. But it's still a possibility. Steal a Sonic Wave, or okay, pick up a puck, that's good too. That's going to be Navi's mid lane. Going up against the Queen of Pain, Puck is actually decent against Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain, as I said in the last cast, that she's like a super S+ tier mid lane hero. But Puck, probably not going to be able to kill the Queen of Pain unless he gets a little bit of help. But the phase shift from Puck is really what helps Puck to survive against the Queen of Pain, because all of Queen of Pain's spells are really easy to read. You could tell when she's Shadow Striking. There's a little noise and there's a projectile as well. Scream of Pain, there's a projectile, and Sonic Wave, there's a huge wind-up time. So all of that is dodgeable, and that is what's going to give Puck at least a little bit of an advantage in that lane. But I do still think that with the attack animation, as well as the attack damage in favor of the Queen of Pain, she's going to have a little bit of an easier time there. And Pulse are actually going to go for that Broodmother, despite the fact that Na'Vi have quite a bit of the AoE. That's what it is. They have a lot of AoE. They could opt to run the Broodmother on the bot lane, but I think Na'Vi are going to expect that with the Darkseer. They're going to last pick the Chen, so Na'Vi, they're going to get their jungle played by Puppey, who has a very darn good Chen, as we are now into the game. So Pulse, they don't want this Broodmother to run into the Darkseer, because Darkseer will just walk all over the Broodmother. But at the same time, you don't really want to run him against Shadow Shaman CK Chen 2.5 lane either, because that's a decent amount of AoE coming out from the Shadow Shaman and a lot of kill potential as well. So we're going to see what Na'Vi want to do, and we're going to see what Pulse want to do in response to that. Looks like it's going to be up against that tri-lane, so Broodmother, got to be careful about this lane, man. Broodmother is going to be played by Wagamama Pinoy. Mid lane is going to be on the Queen of Pain. Got force-fed some of Minnie's tangos, actually. Fishbone is on the hard carry Venomancer, Region on the hard... wait. Fishbone on the hard support Venomancer, and Region on the hard carry Lifestealer. And Minnie's going to be supporting the Lifestealer on the bot lane. Open moons into a split earth is very easy to land. But they're going to be up against Light of Heaven's Darkseer, who last game didn't get pressured back all that much. So Na'Vi are going to have to make sure to keep tabs on this Darkseer. It's going to be very hard to kill him on the lane, unless they could land a lot of Edict hits, but that's probably not going to happen. As I mentioned before, Dendy's Puck. Damn it, what is wrong with me? This is clearly not Pudge. They're like two of the most opposite characters in the game. But it's going to be Puppey's Chen, Ars Art's Shadow Shaman, as well as Fort CK once again. Now they already know that Wagamama's up on this top lane. Havorst spotting out all the webs, and there's Sentry Wards. There should be Sentry Wards. There's no Sentry Wards. I would be very, very surprised. Shadow Shaman probably going to lay the Sentry Ward about here, and then just pressure back Wagamama, and Wagamama will not be able to do anything about it. Ars Art is going to instead put it over there. Fine, I'm a little bit off. Puppey's going to be jungling, and Pulse looks like they're going to run, well, it's going to be a dual lane on top, Waga plus Fishbone. That's going to help the lane a little bit, but I don't actually know. Oh, Fishbone actually has a Sentry Ward, so it's going to be just a little bit of de-warding. I don't know if Fishbone's going to stick up here. It's going to help Waga a little bit, but really, it's not going to help him enough, I feel, to make this Venomancer on the top lane worth it. Because Venomancer is decent at getting kills, but the Broodmother can't really do anything in the early game, like, at all. Whereas Havorst's Chaos Knight could do a lot. Arzar could do a lot in the early stage of the game. They're even going to have Light of Heaven in the jungle area, so Light of Heaven completely abandoning ship on this bottom lane. And instead, farm it up with Puppey, get something out of the early game as opposed to completely getting shut down. So Region, absolute free farm from him. He's still going to be supported by Minnie. If they move Minnie up to the top lane, then they can make things happen. Because it's going to be 3v2 at that point, and Chen, although he could join in on the fight, he's not going to have that constant presence there. They're actually farming these creeps pretty decently. Already got a stack off. Good timing. I wouldn't be able to do that. I'm horrible at jungling heroes like that. But I still do feel, even with this Venomancer on this top lane, even with the de-warding, that Na'Vi do have a better top lane. Arzard is already doing pulls, and well, between the two of Arzard and Havorst, they have a lot more kill potential than Pulse have. Broodmother will eventually get a little more powerful when she gets a little bit more of the spiderlings and a little bit maybe some incapacitating bite. But even then, it's not going to be that huge. And now with Pulse, they're going to be a lot of danger. We see Art in the river closing in. Havorst is going to land the Reality Rift on the Fishbone. 3 seconds stun. 1 1/3 chance of that happening. They're going to drop down a Sentry Ward as well and go for the Spider. Are they going to get it? It's going to be enough for the shock. And Na'Vi picking up 2 kills. First blood goes to Chen with the Satyr Hellcaller Blast. They could even go for a little bit of a push here, though. It's probably not going to be the best. If they push up to this point, then Wagamama's not going to have that web protection. They could dive very aggressively, although mana is going to be an issue. They have dewarded the sentry ward, so Wagamama is now completely spotted out. Not going to have that safety there, and Fishbone is returning to this top lane. Broodmother kind of needs levels, but I guess either way she's not going to get these levels, because you saw how easy that was to kill off the 2 on the top lane. Both these heroes are agility. Both of these heroes are fairly slow, actually. I guess Broodmother has webs, so it's not that slow, but Venomancer is pretty darn slow in the mid lane. Okay, Dendi doing a little bit of harassment against Pinoy. It's 11-1 versus 9-5, so Dendi actually doing a very good job. I guess dodging the Screams of Pain, managing his bottle a little bit more effectively. He has vision of the top rune camp. Bottom one, he does not. He's looking for runes which aren't there, actually. Pretty sure they're not there. Keep in mind, this entire time Region is completely free farming, whereas Na'Vi Havorst is having his farm contested a little bit, at least a little bit more than Region on the bot lane, where there's no one going up against him. But Region is going to get some kills and assists on this top lane, so Chaos Knight, I'm sorry. He's going to have a little bit of a better time, I feel. Dendi might be in a little trouble. Pinoy doesn't have any Shadow Strike. It's pretty much pointless to get Shadow Strike versus Puck. So I don't feel like he's going to get a kill quite yet, although with Arzart on the high ground, a Hex from the high ground, Puppy is trying to get a Centaur into range. Pinoy's going to blink right into Light of Heaven, who steals out the Haste Rune, and a shock from Shadow Shaman is going to kill off that Queen of Pain. Very good aggressive gank from Na'Vi. 4 players for 1 hero, but a kill is a kill. And they didn't really leave their areas that much. Puppy was in the jungle, and Arzart was pretty much around there anyway. Havorst in a little bit of trouble. The Gale did hit on him. A lot of Spiderlings blocking his path as well. Is he going to get out of this? He's not. Broodmother with the last right click does get the kill, but now a stomp onto Fishbone, plus Wagamama Shock going to fly out, and Venomancer does drop. Spiderlings getting in the way of Arzart, and Waga is invisible. No more sentry wards here. So Na'Vi, they do lose their first hero, but they make a trade. Not the best trade, but you get something out of that. Looks like Na'Vi, they're looking pretty good this game. All their lanes are doing pretty well, except for the bot lane, which it's not there, so I guess that could be counted as doing poorly, but I don't know. Forces return to this top lane, looking for a kill into Wagamama, possibly, but there's no more sentry wards, so they're in the stash, not available to them yet. Mid lane is doing very well for Na'Vi, and Pulse they're just trying to hold on. They just have to make sure that they don't drop too many kills in this top lane. So far, it hasn't really been working. They dropped 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 kills in this top lane have been taken by Na'Vi. But the important thing for Pulse is that Region is still in this bot lane. He's still farming. He does have his Hand of Midas flying out. Should be what is it? Yeah, he does have his Hand of Midas flying out. So his farm is going to be very, very quick. CK probably not going to go for Hand of Midas. There's the Dream Coil onto Pinoy. And a Silence from Dendi. Silence is going to land. Illusory Orb is going to perfectly predict where Pinoy is going to blink. And Dendi is going to get the easiest kill of his life. Although, maybe not the easiest kill of his life, but lots of mind game stuff going on there. Perfectly angling that Illusory Orb to appear right next to the Queen of Pain. But really, where else could the Queen of Pain have went? If you go up here, you get killed by the tower. Go over here, then you get killed by the Shadow Shaman. Go over here, you get killed by Dendi. So it was all just a giant dead zone. So Na'Vi gonna push a little bit onto this mid lane tower, but just keeping Pulse off guard. They do have the kill advantage, and now Light of Heaven's back on this bot lane. Region could pressure him back quite a bit. The Lifestealer hits like a truck, and he hits pretty quick also with that Hand of Midas, so Region's going to have his farm contested a little bit, but he should still be able to farm decently. Havorst still having an easy time on this top lane, as Fishbone has left for a little bit, not getting much at all. He does have 2 deaths and 2 last hits, so yeah, Venomancer is playing the typical no items build. All of their hope, honestly, lies with Region, unless they start to make things happen, but Broodmother isn't that type of hero. You can't really just snap into action with Broodmother and start getting kills. It's not really how the Broodmother works. Venomancer could help, Queen of Pain could help. But so far they're stuck in their lanes, and Region is the only one who's actually making things happen as far as income is concerned. Mini has been down here also getting quite a few last hits in the jungle, and he's level 5, so he's not doing too bad himself. But this bot lane from Pulse so far has just been a giant investment, whereas Na'Vi, Darkseer's been getting farm in the jungle, Puck has been winning the mid lane. The top lane, I feel, has also been won by Na'Vi with the Art Horse combo up here. So Na'Vi, their lanes are looking really good, despite the fact they did not send anyone to the bot lane. And they're just going to keep farming up that CK. Late game, though, the Naix, the Lifestealer, is going to be fairly problematic unless you could kite him around. With the Surge, you will be able to kite him around. It's one of the best tools against the Lifestealer. Whoever gets their wounds open, you just surge him away. Easy peasy. And of course, I'm sure there'll be some Force Staffs or Ghost Scepters or something like that to keep away from the Lifestealer, because Lifestealer is going to be the largest threat. And unlike the CK, there's easy ways to counter off the Lifestealer. So Pulse, they're just buying time for Region, but they can't really be aggressive at this stage of the game. They just don't have the heroes for it. And the hero placement they do have for it, Illusory Orb from Dendi, gonna get one into the stun. It's gonna be enough to kill off Mini, just barely enough actually. 2 with max out Waning Rift. I gotta try that sometime. Silence is pretty good, I guess. And on top lane, in the meantime, Force gonna try to go for Fishbone. Arzar's gonna cut through the trees, and he's going to find a shock to kill off the Venomancer. Wagamama is gonna get shackled as well, as the Hand of God does fly out, keeping Arzar very healthy. Wagamama is completely spotted out. He's gonna get Hex as well, and the Chaos Bolt gonna fly, not gonna land, however, because the Spider is already dead. Another 2 kills going the way of Na'Vi on top of the 1 freebie that they had on this bottom lane. Na'Vi, they're finding the kills everywhere. So far, the entire name of the game for this series has been who has more aggression. Whoever has been aggressive has been the one winning. The I guess the receivers of the aggression haven't been managing it very well, and Na'Vi, they're just all over the map, and they're making kills happen. Pulse bleeding heroes at this point, bleeding towers as well even. Bottom tier 1 did get cleared out. Now the bottom tier 2 is gonna fall soon as well. Skeletons are pretty darn good against those towers, especially with the Ring of Basilius on them. Region's coming around from the back, gonna look towards Puppy, but he has a lot of protection with these Dark Trolls who can net through the rage. There's a silence onto Region. He's gonna be bursted down before he get anything off. Pino's gonna blink in for Sonic Wave, but doesn't have enough for her ultimate. Scream of Pain, not enough for her ultimate. Puppy gonna take a split earth, but a 2-man Dream Coil is going to try to save Puppy. Not gonna be enough, but it is gonna kill off the Queen of Pain. Illusory Orb flying for some reason. Gonna move Puck in the way of Mini's escape pattern. Tower's gonna be denied, but Na'Vi still take a 1 for 2 trade. In the meantime, the top lane, Wagamama stunned within tower range. Dendi is here for the silence, and now Havorus is gonna right click down that Broodmother. Oh, dodging the orb. Is there True Sight? Oh, there's no True Sight. Waga's stuck up here, so. Oh, teleportation. And he sticks the landing, so Wagamama's gonna finally live on this top lane. And do they realize it? They should realize it by now. But Na'Vi's still with a 2-10 advantage, and yeah, now they know that he's gone. Everyone teleporting in for that also. They don't know he's gone. That's pretty cool. But hey, with everyone teleporting onto this top lane, the pushing is that much easier. Puppy doesn't have any creeps, but they do have the Serpent Wards, which you really don't need creeps when you have Serpent Wards, I guess. Tower will go down very, very quickly. Broodmother has returned to this lane, but Broodmother isn't getting any room to actually get farm or anything. Spiderlings, she's got to be really careful with them, because these could be very easily nuked down by the Puck plus R's art. That's a lot of bounty that it gives. I don't know what Dendi was doing there, but he almost does have his Dream Coil back online, and this tower is going to drop. Serpent Wards, we'll see if they are used. No, they could even hold on to them and keep moving. They do have a Satyr, so they do have some decent health regeneration. Health regeneration. Gale is going to land onto Dendi, but a retaliatory Dream Coil is going to kill off the Venomancer. There's the Phantasm from Havorus. It's going to go straight onto Mini. Dendi is still around. He's going to get the silence kill. He is going to steal that kill out from Havorus. Wagamama going to get silenced. He's trying to kite around. The Serpent Wards have been dropped. They're going to take down the tower. Wagamama is going to run straight to the north. And that's going to be it. Pulse losing another 2 heroes in exchange for nothing. And at this point, I don't feel like they're holding on well enough so that Region could actually carry the game. Lexo's getting a lot of farm, but you know who else is getting a lot of farm? Pretty much everyone on Na'Vi's side, because they're all involved in these kills. They're going to get a second tier 2 tower as well, and now the mid lane is easy pickings for them. Tower is going to get dropped, not denied, so Puck does get that one. Oh, that was cute. That was awesome. I like that. I like that. Sent back to the base by Puppy, going to fill up his bottle and fill up his health as well, and just returning back to the fight. That is some cool stuff right there. You could also do the same with X marks the spot. True story. True story. Divorce and Light of Heaven are actually on the bot lane, trying to get a little bit of farm, looking for a Regen possibly. Yes, they are looking for a Regen. That's their target. Regen has already dropped once. Going to go for his armlet, which is going to help him survive a little bit. No, they're going to go for Roshan. They could go for Roshan. It's going to be fairly slow. They don't really have a huge right-click dealer. Chaos Knight does have 1 point of that crit. Chaos Strike. No one actually knows what this crit is called. It's just crit. They're not going to go for Roshan. They're going to defend their 2-1 tower. Because Pulse, they're trying to make something happen. Light of Heaven, going to try for the vacuum. Not in range. Here comes Force from the side. Going to land a 3-second stun to Fishbone. Puppy going to heavily nuke down Mini. And Force going to go to town onto the Queen of Pain. Does blink out once again. Puck ultimate just onto the Venomancer. Sonic Wave does hit 3, but it's not going to be enough. Force still alive, and he's not even running away. He's going to get sent back to the base right before the Spiderling Inject lands. Arzart with a Ward Trap onto Regen. Don't think it'll be enough. Regen should be able to hack his way out of there. Now he's on the run from Wagamama as well as Pinoy, but Pinoy is completely out of mana once again. Vacuum going to slow him down. Blink forward. Is it going to be enough to kill the Shadow Shaman? Needs one more hit. It does get that kill, and now Puppy's in a little bit of danger, but Pinoy out of mana this time. He's not going to be able to chase this out. This time it's Na'Vi that take a little bit of a rough fight, but no. CK is back and Queen of Pain is dead. Got caught by a Reality Rift. Tried to blink away, but the Chaos Bolt was there. So Na'Vi, well, they still lost the fight, but they got something out of that at the end. The Queen of Pain, who was going for Dagon. Not sure if that's the right choice. This Dagon is... No, I mean, 14-minute Dagon's not that late, but... I don't know. I guess it will help Pulse in the early stage of the game, which is pretty much all what Dagon does. Like, later on, it's just peanuts. But early on, if you want more damage, hey, Dagon, why not? That's going to mean that they're trying to buy more time for this Lifestealer. And they did take a little bit of a better fight this time around, but that was when Na'Vi was diving the tier 1 tower, and they were all spread out all over the place. So I do like the idea of the Dagon in order to buy Pulse a little bit more early game time. But I'm not sure if it's a little bit too little too late, because Regen, did he drop last fight? No, he was alive. He only got 1 assist, however. He's farming pretty well, but Pulse, they don't really have the towers. They've taken down 2 towers where they've lost 4, and those are including tier 2s as well. So Regen's going to have to get an insane amount of farm in order to combat what Na'Vi has right now. It is very possible he has a hand of Midas, but it's going to be a very large struggle for him, because even if he does get farmed, Rage is going to be fairly easily countered by the Shackles from Chen. He's been packing a couple of Troll Warlords for quite a long time. It's not exactly dependable, but Naix also gets silenced by the Puck, or even locked down in any fashion, really. Before you get that Rage off, he is 1 dead Lifestealer. And Na'Vi with 1 Chen creep leading the way, going to pull back Fishbone as Denny blinks in, going to annihilate the Venomancer. Goodbye, Venomancer, and they're out like bandits. Waga's going to teleport in. Pinoy's here as well, this time with full mana as well as a Dagon. Going to go straight in for Arzart, but Arzart is going to get the fast Hex plus Shackle within tower range. Split Earth is not going to hit onto Arzart, so he's going to survive. There's the Hand of God as Force is just going to town, as well as Puck getting an ultra kill, actually. Dendy, I was not watching him closely enough, and he's picked up more kills, possibly a Rampage as well. Regen, give it to Dendy. Oh, Shadow Shaman. Boo, but it's a 5-man wipe for Na'Vi. I do feel like Pinoy jumped the gun way too hard right there. Arzart with the fast Hex instantly got it off and shackled the Queen of Pain in tower range. Not what you want to have happen. In the meantime, Dendy dropped down a good dropped down a pretty solid chunk of damage as Force was backing him up. And the Force is always the one who's lowest on health after all these fights. I guess kind of it is due to the bottle, but he's taking a lot of damage, but he's not really killable at this point. He's not invulnerable by any means, but he's the tankiest one on Navi's side. Now, oh, Mini, you do not want to be there. This is Blink Forward from Dendy. Lose your orb plus the silence. Mini is going to drop to 1 last right click from Chen from downtown. He picked up a friggin' tiny Wildkin. No, that was just a... Okay, that's poison. I thought it was the small ones, which it wasn't. He's going to survive as well, sent back to the base by Chen. So Na'Vi carved out the mid lane as well. A huge gold advantage, a huge experience advantage in favor of Na'Vi. And Lifestealer isn't big enough. He cannot stick to his targets. He can't go for the puck. Whoever he does go for with the open wounds is going to get surged away. And at that point, it's like, what the hell do you do? As Lifestealer, you're just constantly kited around, and Na'Vi, with all the towers down, they should have enough gold to start getting some utility items to counter off the Lifestealer. Darkseer does have a pipe, so that's mitigating a lot of damage from Pinoy. No Force Staffs, no Ghost Scepters just yet. Chen's still working on his mech. But the pipe is pretty much a hard counter to the Queen of Pain. That's really the only person who's a threat. Venomancer, I guess, a little bit, but then he's going to blink forward. Get a two-man Dream Coil, annihilated Fishbone once again. He's going to dodge off the stun from Mini as Regen is hexed up. He's trying to survive with the armlet. He's going to go to town on Light of Heaven. The Infest doing a lot of damage as well, but Light of Heaven is still alive. Regen trying to right-click him down. He is going to make it. He's going to do enough damage to bring him down as Pinoy continuing the chase onto Dendi and try to teleport out. The damage is not going to be enough. Dendi is going to survive. And now they take a 2-for-1 trade in exchange for only the Venomancer. The Lifestealer with the armlet does save his life in the end. So that is pretty much what Pulse need to do, but I still don't know. I mean, Puck did get a decent Dream Coil, and I guess Pulse didn't have Wagamama through that entire engagement. Now Wagamama is on the run. Movement speed is a little bit larger on Forest. Needs to get a Chaos Bolt, Reality Rift, anything. Not going to happen. But Na'Vi, even though they didn't... So they're the worst trade they've taken, the worst fight they've taken this entire game is a 2-for-1 trade in Pulse's favor. That's it. A 2-for-1 trade, that's nothing. It's nothing. Na'Vi are still in perfect condition. And I don't know if Pulse could actually hold on. They are trying to buy as much time as they can with their item choices, but the pipe is up, then he's going to go straight in, kill off the Lifestealer immediately. Now Mini in a little bit of trouble. He can take a blast from the Satyr as Light of Heaven, surging himself to give chase. Is there any stun? Not enough stun. No vacuum, and he's to open up, and Puck not willing to drop the Dream Coil, but the tower gets denied. One tower denial for Na'Vi, and they're going to go straight into the Roshan pit. The armor bonus from the Wildkin, plus a Satyr for tanking purposes, I guess. And this Roshan is going to be dropped very, very quickly. Was spotted out by Pulse, but they're all over the map, and they're unable to do anything about it because Wagamama is getting worked upon by Dendi. Just solo, Puck is beating out the Broodmother, who quite honestly has been doing nothing this entire game. She's been sticking on the top lane, which is what Broodmothers usually do. It's what they're supposed to do. But only one tier 1 tower is down there, and Broodmother is not a very useful hero at this stage in the game. She doesn't have enough, doesn't have anything really. The only thing she does have is a pretty strong nuke. And when that's the only contribution that you have to your team, it's just not good. The fact of the matter is that Pulse with the Lifestealer plus Broodmother are both countered by the same thing, which is the Darkseer. And Arzart, I guess Shadow Amulet does help as well. I've never actually seen this being picked up by itself and be used effectively. But hey, Arzart, I'm sure you could find a way. I don't know if you could shackle and do it. It won't help you that much because there's a split earth on the other end. There's no targeted stun, so it's not gonna help you at all. Actually, you can't get right clicked, I guess, but you could still get your shackle interrupted. So I guess a poor man BKB, a very poor man BKB. Purely for shackle as well. But Na'Vi, yeah, they're very, very far ahead. Regen's starting to get a little bit big, but he's not getting big fast enough. Chaos Knight even has a freaking Basher, tailoring his item build to the fact that there is a Lifestealer on the other team. And you know what goes through the Rage magic community? Bash. If you stun that Lifestealer, he's going to be doing no damage. He's not going to be healing himself either. And this right here, the Basher on the CK, is why I tell people to not copy pros builds. Because if you go for a Basher right after a Drum and Vit Booster in a pub game, it might work because it's a pub, but it's definitely not optimum. This is tailored specifically for the fact that Lifestealer is on the other end. Ugh. I don't get people who are like, oh yeah, you just gotta watch the pros and do what they do. No, that's not how you learn. Look, Dagon, if you're gonna rush Queen of Pain Dagon every single game, you're gonna be laughed at, quite honestly, because there are other better items to get, but they need the Dagon because they need the early game power. That's why Queen of Pain got the Dagon, and if you're a new player, you're not gonna catch all those things. It's just not gonna happen. Push onto the mid lane. Split Earth is gonna hit onto 2. The Phantasm from Havor is gonna go straight onto town on Mini. 2-second stun annihilated by the Chen nuke. Region going to try to do some invest damage. Sonic Wave does fly out, hitting a couple heroes. Pipe is up. Region is shackled by Arzart, and he's going to drop as well. In the meantime, the Broodmother is also going to drop in the back end to play. Dream Coil onto 2, as Punoy is going to take a 3-second stun. Fishbone still trying to stay within the Dream Coil range. Is going to survive. Reality Rift pulling him back in. However, he's going to drop. A Voice with the Aegis. Not going to worry about his death. There's the Wall of Replica. Perfect placement. Going to both do a little bit of damage to Waga and Mini, as well as zone them out. Punoy going to drop to Dendy. Going to get himself a double kill, and a Puppy trying to make his way out. Waga still giving chase, but a 4-second stun is going to stop him dead in his tracks. And that's a triple kill for Dendy. And a team wipe for Na'Vi. And they're going to take these Raxes, and I think with a 22 kill advantage, they're also going to take the game. They could slide right on up to the top lane, or just go for tier 4s, I guess. The mech up, I guess they're going to kill buildings. Hey, it's 100 gold, if you get the last hit, of course. They're going to go down to the bot lane instead. It's all the same, I guess. Don't think there's any real tactical difference between the two, but with Force doing the damage that he does, they'll be able to take down this tower with the creeps tanking. They also have the freaking pack leader aura of the giant wolf, so it's a lot of extra damage going the way of Na'Vi. Everyone from Pulse is back up, and Na'Vi, they're missing their disabler, but Dendy's going to blink right in, get a 2-second silence onto 2, and Region's trying to go toe-to-toe with Horus, who's standing his ground. He's going to drop eventually, and now Light of Heaven's taking a lot of Edict damage. Wagamama has returned to this fight. Going to get Spiderling Inject, and they already used Spiderling Inject to kill off someone else, I guess. Kill off the CK, or I don't know. Dendy's the only one to survive from that, but hey, they take another tier 4 tower, and Dendy gonna go to town on Mini, gonna drop her another Dream Coil, very short cooldown, blink forward to dodge the stun, and he's just gonna teleport out of there. He knows that Queen of Pain doesn't have a sheep stick, or anywhere near a sheep stick. Dendy playing very, very well as the puck, 12-1-11. Holy crap, that score. That's some scary shit right there. Na'Vi, they're looking very, very good to take this game. Honestly, I don't know what Pulse could do. I feel like the Broodmother wasn't really a great pick for them, and it's hard to pin it on any one thing. It's just Na'Vi being very aggressive, playing very well, winning all their lanes. They already carved out the mid lane completely. They're going to go for what looks like the bot lane as Puck picks up a Dagon of his own. When you pick up an Ultimate Orb, you don't follow it up with a Dagon. This is just a I know I've won build. Which is another reason why, if you're a new player, don't copy pros. It's silly, it's ineffective, and it's silly. Blink Dagger on CK. I saw Forrest go for it one time. I'm sure it's standard. It's the Skull Basher Blink Dagger build on the CK. Don't go for this build, guys. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's bad. It's really bad. Shadowblade on Shadow Shaman also, that's not exactly optimum either. Oh god, this game, Na'Vi know they've won. They just gotta push down the mid lane, and it's gonna be initiation onto Pinoy and Mini, I bet. Smoke is up even. They're gonna open up with the Hex onto Pinoy. Shackle as well. Reality Rift for the extra damage. 800 damage crit as Light of Heaven gonna try to kill Mini and Fishbone. He already did use his vacuum though, so that's not gonna happen. Surging can voice forward. They want in. Fishbone, you better watch yourself. Reality Rift. No, just the stun. 3-second stun. 1, 2, and a Chen nuke. That kind of skewed my counting, but they're going to pick up very, very easy kills as Force blinks back into the melee Raxes, and they're just going to wrestle these Raxes down. They're going to lose a little bit of health from their top tier 3 tower. Wagamama trying to do whatever he can there, but in the end, it's not going to lead to anything. Even if the tower does fall, Light of Heaven not going to let that happen. With the Ion Shell, he's going to annihilate this creep wave in a matter of seconds. Look at that gold. He's making absolute bank right now. Wards are dropped in the spot lane. Phantasm from Horus, and these towers are going to drop as well. Pulse are going to drop down to the losers bracket, where they're going to be joined by Team Empire, I believe. Yeah, Empire lost to GDB. Pulse are going to try to make their last stand. Region trying to go to town. The Puppy's going to take a lot of damage as well as fall down. But Region is now going to get shackled, and Force doesn't do much damage, but there's enough damage to kill him off. And now the Queen of Pain is the only one left alive. And Na'Vi took down one tier 4 tower, and now 2 Rax is up. They have won this game, so although GG hasn't been called, there's nothing that Pulse could do. Na'Vi they could just fall back and push down the top lane, and Pulse will just crumble. Dagon 2 on Puck. Darkseer with Blink Dagger. Darkseer on Blink with Blink Dagger actually isn't that bad. Usually you don't really need it, But if you're this rich, then sure, go for it, because that's a perfect wall replica placement right there. Also, it's pretty good against Life Stealer. As soon as you see you have open wounds or hear it, I guess you hear it before you actually see it, you just go ahead and blink on out, and hopefully you get out of there. But anyway, this is going to be the last push. Na'Vi are going to take this game, unless Pulse mount a miracle comeback. I sure hope they do. I do like Pulse's playstyle. Very aggressive, very... It's very aggressive, and they like to use the Wisp, and I do enjoy watching that. They're going to send out spiders. This is actually a pretty smart move. Like, delay the push by sending out spiders to draw the creep wave, but then there's going to be a little bit closer to a double wave of push. And Wagamama is sad. But they're going to have to deal with the bot lane pushing in, they're going to have to deal with the mid lane pushing in, as well as the top lane pushing in. And Na'Vi, they could sit here for like 20 minutes if they want to and just win the game that way. Of course, that would be horrible, and I would just probably cut that out of the video of if that actually happens. I hope it doesn't happen. I really hope it doesn't. But the Plague Wards are up. Na'Vi, they just have to wait for their last fight. But CK with the Blink Dagger, his fighting potential is not going to be that strong. Forrest, why are you throwing away this game with the Blink Dagger? Why are you doing this, Havorst? There he goes. Dendy's going to fly right in, going to get a two-man Dream Coil onto Mini as well as Wagmama. Havorst going to go straight onto the Venomancer and Light of Heaven and pop off his Ghost Scepter, save himself from Regen. Hand of God flying out as well. Already 2 drop from Pulse. Wagmama very low HP. Regen has to go back to the fountain as Forrest trying to chase down whoever he could find. Was going for Pinoy, but what didn't happen. Broodmother does get revealed, trying to hide in the web. Valley pulling out Wagmama. He's going to drop to an Illusory Orb, or CK, I guess. Regen trying to kill Arzart. 1 kill is all he wants. Arzart Shadow Bladed out, and he's going to live. Going to get another Shackle onto Regen. A complete team wipe for Pulse, from Na'Vi onto Pulse. And that's going to be it. The GG has been called. Regen wishing Na'Vi good luck in the next round. So Pulse are going to be up against Team Empire, which is... Ooh, I mean, I like both of those teams, but that's a tall order to try to beat off Team Empire. It's a tall order. GDB, they managed to do it, so I guess Empire, they're not invincible. But yeah, the GG has been called. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been the second winners bracket game, as Na'Vi ends with 1, 3, 3, 7 pendants in their game. Second winners bracket game from the Starseries Season 3. It's going to be Na'Vi versus GDB, and then Empire versus Pulse, I believe. And that's what's going to happen there. So that's going to be coming to you guys in the upcoming days. Thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It makes me very happy. And if you are subscribed, then hearts to you. I do appreciate all the views. Fishbone's only level 8. I did not notice that. I knew he was dying a lot, but I didn't realize it was that much. Holy crap. But that's going to be it, guys. Thanks for watching. GG.